Results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thanks for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Justin Warman.
And I'm Lisa Bell in for Ginger Gadsden. While all eyes are on the upcoming presidential election, there are several local elections happening across Central Florida this year. The town of Reddick will head to the polls next month after the entire town council resigned last year. It came after state law required people who are in public office to fill out a financial disclosure form. News 6's Emily McLeod is in Reddick today ahead of a Meet the Candidates event for the town's upcoming special election.
The town of Reddick has been without a town council for the last 7 months. Only the town's clerk stayed on board after the mayor and all the council members handed in letters of resignation back in December. Has this ever happened before?
No. Never has happened before.
James Stroop served as Reddick's mayor for 30 years. He says he thinks there will be a learning curve for whoever is elected to serve on Reddick's town council, since the council's former president, Steve Rogers, is not seeking re-election.
And so it's going to be a learning process for whoever comes in.
Stroop says the biggest impact of not having a council is not being able to solve code enforcement or zoning disputes.
For instance, if there's a zoning dispute, then we have a zoning board, which is the council.
And there's no council.
And there's no council.
Members of Reddick's town council all resigned last December after a new law required people in public office to fill out Form 6, a financial disclosure form. However, only 2 of those resignation letters specifically cite the new financial disclosures as a reason for leaving. What do you think about the fact that some of the candidates who resigned last year are now running again? Are you glad to see them coming back?
Sure. Yeah, I'm glad to see that. It sparked some interest where before I never had to run. In 30 years, I never had anybody ever run against me. And so now it's different. Both Nadine Stokes and Dr. Myra Sherman are returning to the town council after resigning in seats 2 and 5 since no one else qualified to run against them. Former Mayor John Vetter and former council member Shirley Humans are facing opponents in their races for mayor and council seat 4. Tomorrow is the Meet the Candidates event. Meet the Candidates, yes.
How often do these Meet the Candidate events happen here in Reddick?
We haven't had one in I don't know how long.
Voters in Reddick will have the opportunity to meet the candidates at the upcoming Meet the Candidates event on Thursday, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Reddick Community Center. We're reporting in Reddick. I'm Emily McLeod, getting Results News 6.
And right now at clickorlando.com, our digital team's political expert has written an entire breakdown of what's on the ballot in Marion County. You can find that right now in the Results 2024 section.
All right, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas here now, pinpointing not as many storms as we saw last night.
Yeah, certainly things are a lot quieter than the lightning tracker we had on last night. Right now, Dr. Phillips, we are dry. Same for us in Oak Ridge. Just off towards our west, though, closer on the south side of Claremont and Mineola. We're dry in town, but just south, we are seeing those showers and downpours. Where we do have a little bit of lightning right around the villages, south of Bellevue. You're likely hearing the thunder north of Wildwood as well, some darker clouds. If you look north, one lone cell, some very heavy rain. You see there 3 lightning strikes being picked up within that cell. Zooming you back out closer to Pearson, we have some more storms firing back up as well. That's going to continue to just hang out and then eventually fizzle out for us. The coast, we are still painfully dry for us. We will continue to watch. No rain again for us over the next couple of days before we try to change up the weather pattern a little bit over the weekend, especially for the second part, courtesy of this tropical wave. Certainly the thunderstorm activity with this is blossoming now as expected as it's moving away from the dust and moving into a more environment conducive for development. Still, though, it's likely not going to try to get its act together until closer to the Bahamas. At that point, it's still up in the air what exactly happens, but we could eventually be getting some rain from this. Regardless of the outcome, it should be on the weaker side, just watching for the potential for some heavier rain depending upon the track. We're going to talk much more about the steering currents with this one coming up in about 10 minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Get Pinpoint weather on the go, plus use live interactive radar with the free News 6 Pinpoint weather app. All you have to do is search WKMG in your app store. Well, already in 2024, several drivers have lost their lives in several high-profile wrong-way crashes on major Central Florida roads.
Including the 429, which is part of the Central Florida Expressway Authority, the public agency that operates the toll roads and has been at the forefront of technology since 2012.
Now, it is getting results, but it can get better. And as News 6 anchor Eric Von Aken discovered, it is getting better at protecting our community.
The Central Florida Expressway Authority's wrong-way warning and detection technology works, like these lighted wrong-way signs that send messages to troopers and overhead billboards instantaneously, turning wrong-way drivers around a remarkable 87% of the time. But as we continue to see, it's not 100%.
So the Expressway Authority got together with its consultant and the engineers at UCF to try and figure out what more could they do, and discovered there was a company out there that had just invented these IRPMs, illuminated raised pavement markers. The company was looking for somebody to test drive these, so they donated a whole bunch of these to the Expressway Authority.
If you're going down the wrong way of a ramp, you'll see these lights.
These LEDs are just pointing in one direction.
Pointing in one direction,
Always.
and that's the wrong way.
Brian Hutchings, you are the Public Information Officer for the Central Florida Expressway Authority. You meet regularly to try and solve this problem.
Correct.
So then the engineers wondered, how do they stop drivers from turning onto the wrong ramp in the first place from the access road, in this case, Old Winter Garden Road? They came up with 3 solutions. First is to paint arrows in the street telling drivers to go straight. Second is to put those same arrows, but this time in green, up on the traffic signals. Third is these things, making it almost impossible for drivers to make this left turn going the wrong way, even if they wanted to. You can't get on the ramp now. I mean, it's physically blocking you.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's not all high tech.
When do you know if these new things are getting results?
Well, that's where our partners at UCF and their research team come into play here. So they'll be analyzing data over the next 2 years to see how this is performing. The research component is critical to the overall success of trying to get to 100% no wrong way driving incidences.
If, in fact, all of this is getting results, the Expressway Authority will install all of this at all of its exit ramps. That's 88 across Central Florida. Protecting our community in Orange County, I'm Eric Von Anken, getting results. News 6.
It's good to know that you've got so many people who are continuing to work to come up with solutions, because it is a problem.
Yeah, every time it happens, I'm like, how does that happen? And I know sometimes you got people from out of town, sometimes under the influence. So I don't know if anything can stop someone who's under the influence, but nevertheless, it's good to see that they're working to reducing it to 0.
Absolutely. Yeah. Currently, the Expressway Authority's highly effective wrong-way vehicle detection system, that's the one with those flashing signs and immediate warnings, is installed at 2/3 of its exit ramps, the ones in the core of Central Florida.
By next year, the Expressway Authority plans to have 100% of all off-ramps covered. So far, the wrong-way detection system, almost 2,000 cars were caught entering the wrong way. 1,700 of them turned around.
You have to think that's potentially 1,700 other lives that were saved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, some think of grocery store shopping as a chore, right? And they choose to have those groceries delivered to their house. In fact, the need for delivery has some companies changing their model of a traditional grocery store here in Central Florida. News 6 anchor and insider guide Crystal Moyer shows us how.
So I'm here with Carlos Cole. He's been a Kroger delivery driver for about 3 years now, and we're going to make some deliveries, right?
We're going to make some folks happy today.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Kroger serves nearly 11 million customers a day throughout the U.S., but you won't find any of its grocery stores in Florida. In fact, you can only have your groceries delivered by drivers like Carlos.
We're giving them something that they need. They need food to survive. So you got a lot of people who don't really have vehicles to get to where they got to go, or they got little kids and they don't want to have to haul their kids in the car. So they basically call us.
Before the groceries make it to the delivery truck, they are packed up at one of Kroger's spoke facilities or fulfillment centers, like this one in Groveland that opened in 2021. The warehouse is huge, sitting at 375,000 square feet. When you order your groceries online, robots sort through the thousands of products stacked in what the company calls the hive in its warehouse. The products are then dropped down in baskets to the Kroger shoppers below, who then bag the items. If you're wondering about the produce, those are all sorted by hand in a climate-controlled room.
The assistant manager giving us an inside look.
This is our manual service room. So this is very similar to the back of a grocery store. We cull and clean and wash our fresh lettuce, our celeries, our asparagus.
Kroger says all the employees who work with the produce are trained in food safety and handling, pulling any defective produce before it makes it to the grocery bag. Food stays fresh with a unique refrigerated truck. The process ends with groceries being dropped off to customers like Keith Snyder.
We're originally from Ohio. We know all about Kroger. As soon as we found out that they were delivering to us, we hopped on it right away. We don't have to do the shopping. They bring it right to our house. I mean, it makes it easy.
Next customer.
Many of our insiders have reached out to me saying they wanted some help with groceries, so we've partnered with Kroger to give away several $100 gift cards with free Kroger delivery boost cards. Just head to clickorlando.com/insider to enter. From Groveland, Crystal Moyer, Getting Results, News 6.
Saving you time and money.
I think so. Definitely the money, though. You go through all the different aisles and you're putting stuff in your basket that is not on the list, right? That makes it a little bit more... You're more aware of what you're putting in the cart.
I love to go up and down the aisles.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because
then I remember things that I wanted to get, otherwise would have forgotten, and then I would have had to go right back to the
fruit
store.
Snacks, Oreos, stuff like that.
Even when you make a list, you still forget some stuff. Yeah. All right, we do want to take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. Nearly a dozen historic sites across Florida are in jeopardy. We're looking at which are the most threatened and what's being done to save them as a sign of the times. One includes a shuffleboard court that could become a pickleball court.
Well, pickleball is the new shuffleboard, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
We need to take that question to the villages and see if that's truly the case. But also trending right now over on clickorlando.com, Boar's Head expands its recall to include 7 million more pounds of deli meats tied to a listeria outbreak. That's an article you're going to want to share with your family and friends. Obviously, they got a ton of Boar's Head at Publix. Circle K is offering 40 cents off per gallon, and our article breaks down how you can take advantage of that great deal. I'm going to look forward to that.
Right?
I got to look into that. 40 cents, that's great.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we are less than 2 weeks away from the start of a brand new school year in Central Florida.
Everyone is doing their part to make sure kids are ready to go. And News 6's Ezzy Castro took a trip to Osceola County, where a nonprofit is getting results.
Chronic kidney disease is a silent killer when you can get screened completely free and get results for your health.
And we're getting the full picture of what Universal's Epic Universe will look like, and it's pretty magical. A look at the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Up next, you're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Sanford, Celebration, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, here's another live look over Daytona Beach. Just glorious here at 6:45 in the evening. This is courtesy of the Daytona Toyota DeLand Kia camera. Really nice. Really jealous of the folks out there.
I was going to say, we should call that the jealousy cam,
that should
right?
be.
It's looking absolutely beautiful there, but of course, inland, as always, there's some other activity going on.
Yeah, we have a few storms out there. Justin mentioned it, not as much as last night, not as many as last night. We're going to be watching those storms, though, push further towards us along the I-75 corridor this evening. Just a little bit of lightning out there. We're hearing a little bit more in Ocala. We have a storm that is just popping up north of town. We had the one we were looking at earlier that was south of town. Claremont into Mineola, we are dry right now. On the south side of town, though, we do have a couple of downpours in the mix. We have a little downpour in between Ocoee and Orlando. We'll zoom you back out and show you we have mainly dry stuff for us along the Space Coast. Palm Bay to Satellite Beach, Mico. We are dry this evening up the 95 corridor. We just took that beautiful look in Daytona Beach. Of course, nothing to show for on the radar. And then there's that little thunderstorm again over Marion County, right over just about downtown Ocala. The lightning very, very close to downtown anyway, with some scattered showers in the mix. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to watch these showers and thunderstorms continue to push off towards the west. There's 7 o'clock, and you see them quickly go closer to I-75 and eventually the Tampa area again with that easterly breeze. Here we go at 11 o'clock tonight. Palm Bay, Rockledge, Titusville, we're looking good. Into Deltona, Sanford, just a few passing clouds in the mix. Overnight and into early tomorrow morning, we're going to clear out any kind of cloud cover that's around, and we will see a mainly clear sky to start before we fire up the sea breeze again with the heating of the day. And you see it there, big time collision expected again tomorrow, mainly inland. So while we do get storms popping close to the coast, they will be pushing away from us again and leaving us mainly dry for another day, and that's going to continue for at least the next few. Once we get into Friday, same deal until we turn things around for the weekend. Here's a live look at Port Canaveral just down the road, of course, from Daytona Beach, and we have the same thing going on. Those beautifully blue skies. It's a live look with our Launch Credit Union camera. Temperatures back to the mid-80s. The breeze at about 10 miles an hour. We are at 87 in Mico. Melbourne, we're also checking in at 87. 91, though, in the Villages. We are at 88 in Ocala. Now here's a look at your Pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperatures tomorrow get back to the mid-90s, lower 90s along the coast. Keep mentioning things might change a little bit for the weekend, all because of this tropical wave starting to blossom a little bit more, and now at least has thunderstorms with it. They are still very unorganized. Nonetheless, steering current would favor, again, that weaker system would tend to go further west. And in this general area, by the time we get to Saturday, which is by the Bahamas and South Florida, and then Sunday, which is closer to Central Florida, anywhere around here at the tip-top of this little broad area we have drawn there, that's where the storm could be in. And as you see here, it's going to be in between a big chunk of high pressure to the west and a big chunk of high pressure to the east. It might get stuck there. So if it does go right smack dab and splits the uprights there, we could be dealing with that thing for several days. The one thing that it does look like, though, the storm itself, from a wind perspective, should be pretty weak, but we don't want it to linger for days upon end. 50% shot for storms tomorrow and into Friday. Temperature staying in the mid-90s. Rain chances go up because of that little entity there, guys, on Sunday.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. It's officially back to school season, and the countdown is on for thousands of Central Florida students heading back to class in less than 2 weeks.
Earlier today, the Salvation Army held a special backpack giveaway to help families get prepared. News 6's Ezzy Castro is in Osceola County with a look at the event.
I'm kind of excited but scared at the same time. Yeah. You know, it's a nice opportunity to learn new things.
The countdown is on in Osceola County as families prepare for the first day of school, which is why many of them showed up to this year's Back to School Bash hosted by the Salvation Army, along with Osceola Commissioners Peggy Chowdhury and Viviana Janer.
So there's a lot going on right before the first day, which is, I think, for you guys, the 12th? Is that?
Yeah. So it's kind of a bit of a cruncher.
Nicole was the first person to get to the Osceola County Fairgrounds this morning to grab some school supplies for her 3-year-old daughter, Sophia, who is starting school for the first time.
This helps a lot, tremendously.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of single parents out there and they're struggling, so it's good to have the help.
I also spoke to Francesca Sobrado, who brought her 8-year-old daughter, nephew, and 2 nieces. She was happy to find out about the event through social media.
The reason why they're doing this is because they want to help people that are struggling. So give me a little bit of what you do. You know, what's it like for you at home?
It's a little difficult, especially with all the bills coming up and things like that. I do Uber, people and food, and then I also do work at Pizza Hut, and I go to school full time. I do a lot.
So the Salvation Army actually collected 1,000 of these book bags right here for this event with the goal of giving them all out to Osceola County students.
Are you excited? Yeah, for the first day of school? All right, high five, my friend. All right.
In Osceola County, Ezzy Castro, getting results, News 6.
It starts to get exciting when you get new supplies, right?
New supplies is fun,
Yeah.
and you get that anticipation
That's
to
right,
see
gets you mentally
who's going to be in your
prepared.
class. That's always
Yeah.
a fun time.
Well, don't forget, now is a great time to get those school supplies tax-free. The state sales tax holiday runs until August 11th. Earlier this week, Ezzy showed us how you can get your school supply list for maybe under $50. She was able to do that. Just go to clickorlando.com/back-to-school to see what she discovered. Well, this is a concerning statistic. 1 in 3 people are at risk for kidney disease. The good news, it only takes a few minutes to find out how you are doing.
So during Breakfast with Bridget this morning, anchor Bridget Ellison talked to Kia Blair Malone of Our Legacy Organ and Tissue Donation and Charlize Simmons, a 2-time kidney recipient and founder of McCall's Hope. They're spreading the word about the free kidney screening and wellness expo event happening this Saturday.
You can just simply take a quick urinalysis, and in 15 to 20 minutes, you will know if, in fact, you have chronic kidney disease or any type of kidney disease and what stage you may have. We know that exercise and eating right is also a key factor in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So we're going to also incorporate a cooking demonstration from Ebony Nutrition, so you can learn how to cook those meals in a healthier way without losing flavor. And then we'll have a little fitness segment to kind of help you get up and get moving.
So this free screening event is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday at the Advent Health Training Center. You can catch Breakfast with Bridget live weekday mornings at 7:30 on the News 6 streaming app for your smart TV and on clickorlando.com. Still ahead, Universal is spilling some brand new details about its 3rd Harry Potter themed land. How much better could it get? We're walking you through what to expect in just 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Coming up in the morning, tackling parking problems along the coast.
The beachside city that's looking for new solutions and how they're turning to the public to try and get results.
And we're keeping a close watch on the tropics, and that wave will see you for News 6 mornings 5 to 7. You got to watch before you go.
Coffee business has a lot of competition these days, right? But a local cafe that previously found success in shopping malls is keeping its cult following here in Central Florida.
Barney's has been serving unique flavored brews in Winter Park for more than 43 years. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos and I had the chance to see how Barney's comes up with those flavors and the entire roasting process on our podcast, Florida Foodie.
One of our originators is actually named Phil Barney Jones. So Barney's actually is his name, his middle name. So he was one of our originators, and that's where that name came from.
And he created flavored coffee?
Oh, yeah, he was, if you look at our actual story, he was an inventor himself. Like, he just wanted to tinker with different things, and he was like, you know what, no one's doing flavored coffee. Just like at the time we were doing Santa's White Christmas and presenting that, no one was doing a holiday coffee. We were like one of the first. Not to say this, but we were before Starbucks and before and so we like to say that we're innovators, and he was definitely someone that came up with this idea of like, no one's doing this, let's try this, and we're going to make sure we're good at it.
I could smell those beans right now.
I was so wired after that interview. I couldn't sleep for days. You can check out the full episode right now. It's on the News 6 Plus app for your smart TV, or you can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Well, July 31st has a lot of meaning in the world of Harry Potter. It's the character's birthday, along with the novel series author J.K. Rowling, and it is the deadline for Harry to reply to his Hogwarts acceptance letter. Who knew?
I didn't know all that, but here in Central Florida, July 31st is when we officially got some details on the new Ministry of Magic that's coming to Universal's Epic Universe theme park. So the themed area will be set in 1920s Wizarding Paris. That's featured in the Fantastic Beasts movies and 1990s British Ministry of Magic from the Harry Potter films. So there are several different experience and dining options throughout this land, as well as a Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry ride.
We have a full breakdown of all the different parts of the Ministry of Magic in this article on clickorlando.com, as well as links to what we already know about the other 4 worlds that make up Epic Universe. You can also scroll to the bottom of the article to weigh in on what you are looking forward to the most at Epic Universe right now.
All right, I'm looking forward to a lot about Epic Universe, but I'm not going to probably be there for a while. That's my point. But I'm looking forward to the crowds going there, and then maybe it frees up some time at
other places.
The other parts.
Yeah. July 31st, by the way, also the city of Orlando's birthday. 149 years young today.
Are they related?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But maybe it was some big grand plan that she had, saying this is an important date, and one day we're going to have, Harry Potter themed theme parks in Orlando.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's cool though.
It is cool.
It's cool.
All right, thanks for watching News 6 at 6:30. You can stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. We'll see you back at 11. Take care.